Welcome to Griff's Guide. I'm Jeremy Griffin. This is my co-host, Kyle Brogan. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to be talking about plumbing, life, and kind of everything in between. So, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
How long have we been friends?
I think we met in, from the first time I remember was in like Damiano's class.
Damiano's class. That was a good class, dude.
Yep.
It was very good.
Sitting across from each other. And,
yep.
That was a good time.
Only two kids that in that class that went to the Voc.
Yeah.
I think. Pretty sure anyways. Right?
From what I remember.
Yeah. It had to have been.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, "Oh my God, why are you going to that school? You guys are just going to be burnouts. You're never even going to graduate high school."
It's crazy.
Well, you know what it is like I feel like the technical high schools always had that weird they always have that weird like nostalgia around them where it's like you're a bum if you go to a tech school, but like they don't understand that that's not the case, and like trades are actually very, very profitable.
Yeah. Well, I think when our parents were younger, I think the stigma just kind of stuck.
Yeah, but dude, think about all the people that are like your parents' age that that own companies. All the older guys, they're all loaded.
Yeah, but when our dads were young, kids who went to the Voc were the.
That's true. They were all degenerates. We weren't. We were definitely degenerates, but that's fine. We'll get to that later. Yeah, so we met in Damiano's class.
8th grade. How old are we then?
Like 14.
14.
So that's 15 years.
So
pretty good. Life. Soon to be 16. Half life. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good history class, actually. Yeah, that was the only history class that I actually genuinely cared about because he made it fun.
Well, yeah, the notes
were ridiculous. Brutal. Yeah, hey, you're 14, but I need you to take 4 pages of notes and then write a 5-page paper on it after. That was the most aggressive history class that I've ever had to take. Yeah, and it wasn't even like an honors class. It was just a standard class.
I mean, he set us up right. I still do my notes like that to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. See, I don't.
Have the main, and then you kind of break it down.
Maybe I actually do, and I just never.
I bet you do.
If I have to go back and check through my notebooks now and see how I take notes, I think you actually might be right about that. The only time I've ever, I haven't thought about that until now. Now I got to go back and look.
You remember the food of the day? He would always say, like,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
prosciutto di Parma.
Super Italian guy, great guy.
Prosciutto di Parma.
But then, after that, after 8th grade, Kyle and I became friends, and that was kind of, then we went off to high school, went to the Voc, and I mean, that was a whole experience.
Yeah, both took plumbing, you know, all the plumbing boys.
Yeah, but you know what? That was literally the biggest group of degenerates you've ever seen in your life. That
was fun.
It was fun. We definitely did way less plumbing than...
we couldn't even use glue and cleaner.
Yeah, we couldn't use glue and cleaner, so we had to screw PVC pipes together. I wish I had a picture of that to show everybody because it was just like the most god-awful experience you've ever had to deal with. All the
fittings have screws in them.
You know what blows my mind is the whole time that we were in shop, they never actually told us, like, hey, by the way, all this stuff is really bad for you. Like lead. How many days did you spend just melting lead with your face right over it?
It smells good.
It does smell good. I still like it. That's why when I did the bathroom here, I was like, oh, pack and pour a flange. I have to melt lead. Let's
nostalgic. Go. I know. It's nostalgic.
Let me drink it. So, so we went through high school, and Kyle and I actually did a fair amount of side work together in high school, even though we had no business doing that.
Yep.
First boiler ever that we did together, you went back there not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
It was like a month ago?
It was recent. Yeah, it was. I didn't even know it was, and then you said it was.
Like, yeah, dude, same guy.
House in Lynn, yeah.
Same guy, that house in Lynn. It's wild.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was, I ate a lot of cheeseburgers that day. I remember that. I think I downed like 15 McDonald's cheeseburgers.
Was that when you were bulking?
Yeah, of course. I was always bulking. It just might have been good, might have been bad, but at the time you're 17, so who cares?
Yeah.
Heavy bulk, yeah, it's fine. It's not clean. It's very dirty.
Yeah, you got pretty big pretty quick, but...
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But
yeah, plumbing for a while. I think your dad taught me how to do PVC,
Teflon tape. Yeah, you go over the hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Yep. He still teaches people the same way. It's just sometimes you just can't figure it out. I still do it backwards all the time, though. All the time.
Do you?
All the time.
I never do it.
I just don't even
think about it.
If I'm on the phone and I'm fiddling with something and trying to tape something at the same time, it's just never a good mix. You get too caught up in what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's just never a good
not
vibe.
a good multitasker.
No, I am a terrible multitasker. I'll be the first one to admit it. If you come into the office and you ask me to do something and I'm working on another project, forget it. If you didn't write it down, it
Yeah,
might as well be
see
out
you
the door.
later.
Absolutely.
So where did you go right after high school? What do you do?
After high school, I became a truck driver for a union company.
Wow.
Yep. So then, and that was a whole experience because I had just gotten my license. And this company was like, hey, by the way, here's a giant rack truck. Here's the keys.
I remember that.
And you have to go into Boston every day.
Yeah, that's how you got into the union,
That's
right?
how I got in the union. Yeah. So you have to do, usually it's like you'll do a year or whatever it ends up being. I think mine was a little bit longer because the union was just picking back up at that point
Yep.
because the economy was still kind of down. We got out of high school right as the economy started to uptick.
2013.
2013. '08 to 2010 was an absolute travesty.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like at the time when I was there, they were still cycling the apprentices through the apprentice program. They'd have kids like get laid off for a week, then they'd come back just to get their hours. They would get laid off, brought back, laid off, brought back. Like every other week you'd be working. It was really crazy how they had to do it to get everybody's hours.
Wow.
So yeah, luckily, by the time I was done truck driving and hitting fire hydrants in Boston, you're welcome, Boston Fire.
How many of those did you hit?
A couple.
Any water come out?
No. So I thought water would come out. The first time I hit a fire hydrant, I broke it right off. So it's just laying on the ground and I'm like, where's the water? I didn't know it, but there's actually a really long like screw that goes down like 10 feet into the ground and that's where it opens. The valve's way down to the ground. I had no idea. As soon as I hit it and I saw it fall over, I was just like,
oh, that's so
there's
crazy.
no water. What happened?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, hit a fire hydrant. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Wow.
But after that, then the union started. And that was a whole nother experience. They don't prepare you for that in high school when they tell you have to get up at 4:00 every day, get into your own vehicle, drive into the city, find a place to park, try not to get ticketed, right? I don't even want to know what I paid in parking tickets to the city of Boston at this point. It's probably thousands of dollars.
You guys had rough parking spots, yeah?
No, it was either you paid a garage, like
Oh,
you pay a garage like
you take
$40 a
risk.
day, or you take the risk and try to get away with it for like $12.50. But
Yeah.
you take the risk and don't move your vehicle, they're just going to slap you with tickets. And then if you have enough tickets, then they're just going to tow you. I've gotten towed.
Damn, I've never been towed.
Oh,
Do you think your car was stolen?
No, I came out and knew exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, I had too many tickets. They definitely towed me.
Yeah. I would probably think my car
Never got
was.
a boot though, which was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They never put a boot on it. So, but that's besides the point. So yeah, I did the whole union thing for quite some time, getting up early, driving, finding horrible parking, paying an insurmountable amount of parking tickets, and then going through the union training program, which I will say is probably the best training program that I would have gotten the experience to go through. They cover way more than any other school, which is great.
Yeah, they really care. It's good.
Yeah, they definitely take the time to teach you.
Yeah.
They're not wasting they're not wasting your time when you're there.
You get paid to go to school.
You do get paid to go to school, and they get paid a lot of money to teach
I bet.
because they get full rate. Yeah, actually, I think they get foreman rate and they get paid vacation. So those guys are making like, I don't know what the full package is now. It's probably $190,000 a year to teach a bunch of kids how to put in, like bathrooms and how to pitch cast iron pipe correctly and look at blueprints. Like it's not a bad gig.
No,
at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I led into. And then after that, that's when Jay Griffin started. But Kyle, let's take your approach. Let's look at your life. Where did you? Yep. See, there's the truck right there. We'll get to that in 1 minute. Thank you.
OG.
We'll leave that up there though, just as that is the OG. That thing was impossible and terrible to work out of. So you graduated, and where did you go from there? Because that's kind of where we kind of disconnected at that point.
So right from high school, I was working for my uncle for a little bit.
Bill or Kevin?
Bill.
Yeah, let me just preface. So Kyle's entire family is almost all plumbers.
Yeah.
except for one person. Like they're
Yeah,
almost all plumbers,
yeah,
which is wild. I'd never met anybody like that.
we got too many.
Too many, yeah.
Yeah, it's hairdressers and plumbers. That's what Brogans are.
Yeah, it's a good combination though. At
Yeah,
least
I
you
mean,
guys know what you're supposed to do instead of like,
yeah,
hey, I'm
I
gonna go
mean,
try to do rocket physics or
yeah,
something weird like that.
it's a comfortable life. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
nothing crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
But yeah, I was working for Bill for a while, and then from there, I went to work for Steve O'Brien out of Beverly. Great guy.
How
Wicked
long did you
nice.
work there?
I was with Steve for 4 years.
4 years. Wow, no
Yeah,
kidding. You
yeah.
worked on a lot of big homes up there, right?
Manchester by the Sea, Beverly
Yeah, I
Farms.
bet.
Yeah,
There's some crazy houses up there.
there's some bangers up there.
Yeah, they got big giant gates and
Yeah,
just all sorts of.
they just don't care.
No, they don't. Like,
They're just like, yeah, go fix it.
yeah,
Like,
they have houses. I mean, some of those houses, dude, I'm pretty sure they have like live-in like groundskeepers and stuff.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like that school. I did a lot at the what's that school? I can't remember.
Is it a college or like
It's
like a
it's
high
like
school?
it's like from elementary to 8th grade. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's right near the
I'm sure we
bars,
could probably look it up. We'll figure it out.
right near
Not.
Endicott.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Just expensive everything.
yeah, like 80,000 a year from
Are you
elementary.
serious?
Yeah,
Holy
because it's
crap.
kids with special learning. Like,
Is it Landmark? Is that the name of the
yes,
school? Dude, I
yes,
know a kid that went there. I didn't realize it was that
it's a
expensive.
lot. It's probably not 80. But it's up there.
Really? So it's like it's an expensive school for kids that are on like IEPs.
Yes.
Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Hmm.
Good. So now I have somewhere to send my kids.
Yeah. Right. Get rid of the Bugatti. So yeah, went from there to then I went union.
Mm-hmm.
Union for a couple of years. Had a couple weird
What was that experience like? Because my experience there and yours were like very much different.
yeah, so mine I think I just got, tough companies at tough times. Um I'm not gonna say names, but
No, you don't name names here.
no, we're not. But it was like just very chaotic. That's when they first started the resi side too.
Right. That's right. I remember
So
that.
a lot of the resi, it's like all the new guys, first 3 years, and then you go commercial.
Right.
So just chaotic, it wasn't, but did that for a few years, and then was like, screw it, I'm gonna go for myself. Did my own thing for a few years, and
What was that experience like?
I liked it. It was nice. You have your own schedule. You do need a team.
Oh yeah.
Like I was solo, and it's just too much to keep up with.
I feel like that's why when you see guys that run solo companies, very rarely do you see it go above and beyond any
Yeah,
more than like one or two guys because it's impossible. And I will
I
I'll be the
agree.
first one to admit openly, like, if I did not have other people that I worked with, if I didn't start the company with my dad and didn't have like my mom doing some of the back office stuff, like no chance, no chance that that would have ever went anywhere because you need a support system. Like, I got guys I got buddies of mine that are starting to pick up, but it's like their wife is doing all the back office stuff. They're hiring more people and they're figuring it out. But if you're on your own, man, props to you because that is way harder.
Yeah, I give everybody the props in the
Yeah, that
world for
is
that.
much harder. That's like, because like I'm sure with other businesses, it's probably a little bit easier because it's like it's less involved. There's less moving parts. I feel like with our line of work, you have to keep on top of like, supply houses, insurance. You have to keep on top of permitting, inspections. There's so many things that go into it that people don't even realize when you just say, hey, I'm going to call a plumber to do my kitchen or a bathroom or whatever it is. There is so many moving parts, but from start to finish, it's like if you actually did the math, you probably don't get paid nearly as much as you think you do just based off the time you spend on it.
Yeah, no. I mean, you do make good money, but yeah, based off the time,
Yeah, if you did it hour by hour, you
you're
probably like
probably
$20 an hour because you have
I don't
150
know.
hours into the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah,
You wake up early, you got to get the truck ready.
right,
You got to go to the supply house, look at jobs, bid them out. What if you don't get them? It's wasted time. You
right. And
write
there's
up the
plenty of
slips.
tire kickers out there.
Yeah.
Plenty.
So, it was fun. I did a lot of bathrooms. That was fun. Bathroom and kitchen remodels. And Yeah, and then I end up joining with you.
And then and Jay Griffin, just a whole, I don't even know how to explain the dynamic of the business that we are now. It's a very interesting
Yeah, it's like
space to work.
yeah,
It's unconventional for a plumbing company. It's super unconventional. You do not see what we do every day. It's very rare.
it's like Jared when he first got hired, he was like, "It's like I'm working at Google."
Yeah, that's kind of the
With the
mentality that
benefits
I
and
wanted, though.
yeah.
But so when we got started, it was just my dad and I rolling around in that thing, which was a blast. I got to drive that around for I'm gonna say roughly a year. And if anybody has worked out of a pickup truck before, it's tough. If you work out of a Toyota Tacoma, it's even tougher because there's no space. You can't fit a 10-foot piece of pipe. All pieces of pipe come in at least 10 feet. So that is impossible because the bed is like 4 foot 11 by the time you put the cap in it. So every single piece of pipe I ever installed had to be cut in half. It
Oh,
was
you had to
great.
cut them in half?
I'd cut them in half, put them on the roof. Like, I
Oh,
don't know. I mean, if I was doing service, I'd just cut it in half.
that's tough.
Yeah, it was a blast. I actually do kind of miss it now with everything that's gone on. But so we started the company and it was basically 2020. As soon as COVID happened, I got laid off from the union and decided that I was just not having it anymore because I was sick of waking up, driving into Boston, at 5 in the morning, trying to find a spot to park, getting yelled at by some dude that I wanted to beat with a hammer. Am I allowed to say that? Okay, good. I wasn't sure. Yeah. I had one. There was only one guy actually that I ever really wanted to beat with a hammer. There was this one form that I worked for. I'll never forget it. Worst day ever. I came in freshly 21. Decided to stay up until, which everybody's done this. Decided to stay up until like 4 o'clock in the morning on a Friday morning. Uh, yeah,
Thursday night?
Thursday night deal.
Oh, man.
Still like house sitting for one of my buddies. I had destroyed the guy's house.
Yeah, you can
Absolutely
still
destroyed his house.
smell the liquor on your breath
Yeah. Oh
probably.
yeah. 100. No,
Still drunk?
I was questionable when I got to work, and he goes, "Hey, I need you to go out on the roof and move around 4-inch gas pipe,
Oof,
dude."
that's heavy.
Yeah. You know what day it was? It was like July 29th.
Ooh.
It was like the hottest day of the year. I'm out there already fiercely dehydrated, and I have nothing to drink. And I'm working at the mall. I'm at the Burlington Mall.
Oh,
So
really?
nothing's open. 6 in the morning, nothing's open at the mall. So I couldn't even like run out quick and grab a drink. I just had to sit there and suffer for like 4 hours before I could get anything.
Yeah.
So I'm on the roof, just sun's beating down on you. It's already like 90 degrees out at that point. Then he comes out after we have all the pipe laid out and he goes, "You know what?" He's like, "I don't like how you guys did that. I need you to do it again." He did that 3 more times that day. And finally I went inside and just was like, "All right, John," only first name. "All right, John." Like I just looked at him and I said, "What? I'm not doing this again." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm going to send you home." And I'm like, "John, I'm going to fight you right now is what I'm going to do because you've been nothing but a dick this entire time that we've been on this job site for no reason. I do everything you asked and you just feel so entitled that you're just going to do whatever you want because you're the foreman." He thought
Wow.
he was the biggest tough guy in the world, short king. Dude's like 5'6" and just like wants to fight the biggest people out there. There was one kid that I worked for, nicest kid in the world, right? He had to work on a job with John one time, and he actually walked off the job because of how bad this guy was. This kid would not hurt a fly, and I watched him pick up a hammer out of a bag and start to go after him. That's what I'm saying. There's just some, I mean, from your experience in the union, there's some people there that you're just like, how is this dude stay employed? Because all he does is yell at you all day and make your life miserable, and the job doesn't progress the way it needs to.
Sometimes they need those guys that, lay down the hammer, but
That
it's
get
not.
beaten with a hammer,
Yeah, I mean, they lay down the hammer just to get
I guess, just to get beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so after I got laid off and COVID happened, it was just, this is a perfect opportunity to jump into a situation that I kind of already knew how it operated and how to run a business because we did tons of side work. Uh, Actually, next slide for me real quick. Before next slide, one more. Well, actually, yeah, that's me getting into the union when I was freshly. I don't know.
Wow.
I think I was like 19 in that picture.
Haven't seen you without a beard in a
Dude,
while.
I've only shaved like 3 times since that photo was taken.
Crazy.
You're never gonna see that again. Don't worry.
Crazy.
Yeah, next slide. So Kyle and I actually did this job together during the Columbia gas explosion, which was a I still don't even know how to explain that event. I've never worked that much in my entire life. It was like 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single day for the first, I don't know, I think it was like a month.
That was the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, dude, one guy made a mistake and literally cost like trillions of dollars in damage.
So what happened actually? Like
So they took the way it works is there's low pressure and high pressure lines in the street. So this guy was doing street work. Someone designed it in the Columbia Gas office. I don't know who he was, but he did the design and said, "Oh yeah, take out this old line, put in a new line, and I need you to tie over these two. Like I need you to basically just make a connection."
oh,
So
high
when
pressure.
when he made the new connection, instead of tying it into an old low pressure line, what he thought was an old low pressure line was actually high pressure. So when they rolled it back on, they sent 62 pounds of gas, which normally in a house you have about half a pound or
Quarter pound. I mean,
half quarter of a
ish.
psi, 1 pound per square inch, and he sent 62 psi into these people's houses.
Whoa.
So that just absolutely destroyed everything.
Everything just turned on, shredded
Yeah,
it,
it
and
shredded everything, and you just
you
have
have a
gas
pilot.
pouring in everyone's house, and that's
Yeah.
why there were so many fires and explosions because you were
Yeah.
just filling people's houses with gas, and it was blocks and blocks and blocks, hundreds of thousands of homes.
That was
So
terrible.
yeah, that was a crazy experience. But yeah, so Kyle and I did a little bit of side work. I had already kind of understood how to not run a business, but I knew how to run a job. I knew what was involved in the bidding process, and then dealing with like Columbia Gas on a lot of this stuff, you had to be a lot more specific with how you bid jobs and what your invoices looked like, what your estimates looked like, because they all had to be submitted for approval. So like doing this job was a great experience because I was able to understand, a harder process when it came to bidding, when it came to invoicing, because you're dealing with insurance adjusters the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
that
have to.
was, yeah.
I didn't think
The
about that.
insurance adjuster thing was great though, because if you like
Were they just like, "Yep, go, go, go"?
pretty much, and if you knew some of the guys, they were a little bit easier on you. It wasn't, not that they were approving anything, but you could go into the house and be like, listen, these people's stove got burned or whatever. The fridge got burned because it's next to the stove. Can you help them out? Stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it was just easier to have a couple insurance agents that were there that were doing the disaster stuff to be able to make your job easier.
Nice.
I swear at this point, most of business is just relationship building and finding and knowing the right people to help you and push you along.
It's a huge part of it.
Yeah, knowing people, it's literally half the battle.
I know. It's crazy.
So yeah, we started the business 2020. It was just my dad and myself. We had one apprentice, great kid, still an awesome plumber, Mikey.
Yep. Shout
Mikey's
out, Mikey.
Shout out to Mikey. He is an absolute dog. That kid kills it every day. He is just always going on and doing bigger and better things, which I love to see.
Yep.
So then, we slowly started adding people, slowly adding. And before I knew it, here we are in 2024, about to be 25. And we have 17 people in that office every day, 16, 17, something like that.
I haven't counted it. Yeah.
I
don't know.
haven't either. I really don't even
That's funny.
pay
You don't even
attention
know.
to it because there's so many people
I
just
know,
like
it's-
in the office
Yeah.
asking questions. And
Plus, you have outer office kind of.
yeah,
people,
you do.
too.
I just never take the time to actually count and see how many people are there. I just
Yes.
assume that everything's getting done because I'm watching the schedule just click, 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 click
Yeah,
through. So
It's working.
it's a lot of moving parts though.
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing that we specialize in, which I think is actually we started off specializing in high efficiency and heating equipment, like this boiler right here. It's a steam boiler. We started off in that, but we noticed that as you grow as a company, you have to branch out into other things. So like Kyle's taking the reins on the water quality stuff, PFAs, right? That's been a
crazy.
big thing. It's in everything, including
Yeah.
this bottle right here. Not to name names or brands, but it's in here. It's
Well,
actually in that can right there. PFAs are literally in everything, and it's very bad.
it's crazy. I
Yep.
mean, it's you can't get
It's
away
in your
from it.
clothes. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
PFAs are in
Everything
clothes. That's why I wear jeans.
waterproof. Yeah. Oh
There's
yeah.
no PFAs in jeans,
Yeah.
dude.
These are waterproof, so
Yeah, there's definitely PFAs in those.
I'm sitting in PFAs.
Yeah, you're forever chemicaled up right now. You're just covered.
It's it's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, I know it is. Um,
Waterproof.
so I think yeah, we started the company and now it's, this big, beautiful thing. And like Kyle said, we definitely try to take the approach and make it a Google-like atmosphere
Oh yeah, very
to a certain
corporate
degree. Yeah, it's corporate, but it's nice corporate.
for
It's
a
not like
plumbing
you're
company.
working for, it's not like you're
Yeah.
working for some Chinese like slave driving company. It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
But yeah, we definitely do pride ourselves on trying to give the employees good enough, I would say better benefits than most companies are going to give out. It's not just like a mom and pop, like,
Uh,
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to give you anything. Buy your own tools.
yeah.
There's none of that. We're not just rolling around like, hey, get fucked. Like, I don't want to ever do that because that just doesn't create a good team culture.
Yeah. No, I know there's so many companies that buy your own tools.
Yeah.
You get minimal health insurance,
They,
dentist,
yeah, and people don't. I don't know. I feel like you get in the industry though, and like if you're on the residential side, you're non-union. I feel like that's just a norm though.
that's normal.
That is a normal thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's perks to it. You don't have to go into Boston if you're in like a normal residential. There's
Yeah,
ups and
ups and
downs.
downs with everything. That's like the union. There's an up, you get paid really well, but the
Yep.
down is you're ruining your vehicle every single week, and you're
Getting laid off
getting
every
laid
single week.
off all the time, potentially,
Yeah.
depending on
Well,
who you are.
yeah,
Maybe, maybe not.
depending on the situation,
It
yeah.
depends on the situation, but so that's kind of how Jay Griffin started. The whole reason for us doing this, Kyle, and I would like to say, is to be transparent with people, right? I don't ever want to make anyone that I do work for, or potentially I'm going to do work for, feel like we're bullshit artists, so we're not actually who we say we are. Because I
Mhm.
feel like there's a lot of company owners that put on a big face and pretend to be something that they're not in front of their clients, and I feel like people can kind of sniff that out. But
Yeah, I mean,
um,
you're putting yourself where,
right, you're just
if they
putting
wanna
yourself
see
out
what you're
there.
like,
Right, if they want to see what we're like as people that work in this business every
yeah,
day, this is the perfect opportunity. I'm
yeah.
not going to
I mean,
sugarcoat anything.
yeah, you're not
I'm
hiding and yeah, it's
I
like
haven't. There's nothing to hide here, which I think
yeah,
is really the beauty of this whole thing. Is just trying to take a more personal approach, which we already do. I mean, I feel like when it comes to customer service and things like that, the personal touch is the most important thing. I mean, honestly, even if we lose money on some stuff, I'd rather have whoever our client is. I'd rather just have them be happy with the service and happy with what we do, over.
I mean, that's the difference between client and customer, it's
No,
like
that's true. Yeah, when you say client, that's why I really try to use the word client.
me
When
too.
everybody says customer, 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 I'm
Yeah,
like, don't no. Customer is you went to McDonald's and bought a Happy Meal.
yeah.
We don't sell Happy Meals. Last I checked.
No, we don't.
You know what we should do though? The Happy Meal little Crocs. We should start giving those out to people. That'd be pretty cool.
Actually, yeah, partner up with McDonald's.
Yeah, we'll partner up. We'll do a co-op with McDonald's. We'll
Sounds good.
franchise. We'll be a McDonald's plumbing company. It'll be cool. So in doing this podcast, we're just trying to be transparent with people and let them understand what we're like and who we are. And as we go through this adventure that we're starting, I want to try to have everybody on the podcast because I feel like everybody has a very unique story, especially when it comes to, yeah, no, everybody has a unique story. I think the really interesting ones are like the people that were not in the industry, like you and I, you know?
Like the guys that came in
The guys
late.
that came in and didn't know anything, like,
Yeah.
and there's quite a few of 'em, maintenance guys, chefs, cleaners, roofers, landscapers. We have people that just were completely maybe in the construction industry, but didn't know.
Waitress.
Waitress, right? Perfect example. Like they didn't know anything and we're molding them to be great plumbers,
Mhm.
which I think is cool. And that's why as we go through this and add more episodes, I think it's going to be really, really fun to have these people on and tell their story and it just is gonna make things more interesting for people because they're gonna see like, wow, this girl was a waitress before and she's a plumber now and she's an absolute rock star. Like, huh, maybe I can do that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's more of the person than anything,
Right.
really.
But it definitely gives people kind of well, it's more humanizing, obviously, but it gives people like an option, I guess you could say. Like, hey, maybe I can do that too,
Oh, yeah.
which I think
Yeah.
is cool because right now
I
we're
mean,
we're understaffed.
we're starving.
Everything's
I
understaffed
mean,
right now, especially when it gets busy and things pick up.
oh, man.
Trying to find people is amazing. Trying to find an HVAC technician right now, it's like
Where are
I
they?
don't think they're here. I think
Why
they're all down south. Is
where did
my
they go?
I don't think there ever was any. If there was, they all moved down south
Yeah,
because there's just more of a demand. Because for the life of me, you interview 25 people and you're like, I don't think a single one of those people was qualified to do this job.
well, or they want a crazy amount of money if they
No,
are.
nobody even wanted a crazy amount of money. I'm telling you, every single person that came in just wasn't qualified.
Wasn't an HVAC guy?
Wasn't really an HVAC guy. They said they were an HVAC guy, but they're not really an HVAC guy. So that was kind of a whole thing.
Yeah.
That's like a month process to get nowhere.
Yeah.
Love it. It's my favorite.
How it goes, baby.
I guess so. That's just part of being in business. So yeah, we're gonna bring a lot of the individuals that work for the business. We're gonna bring them on the show. We're gonna talk to them about their life and you know how their careers progress, what they've learned, things like that. You know, other things we're gonna probably talk about on the show. We'll talk about some business stuff. Kyle, very smart businessman, probably better than me. In a lot of cases, I would say you know a lot more than I do when it comes to especially how to make your money work for you. I am not one of those guys. I'm a cash under the mattress kind of guy. You know how to make your money work, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, we'll talk about obviously normal plumbing things. And I would really like to just talk about life and our experiences working and our experiences in personal life stuff too. Because I think it's important. Like I said, it's that aspect to let people know, like, hey, we're humans. We're not just like robots that come in and change your faucet,
Yeah.
which is nice. Let's actually, okay. So, one thing that I wanted to talk about, like Kyle said, there's a lot of benefits to working in our business. And one of the benefits that I wanted to talk about, which I think is huge, and it's something that I am very passionate about, is volunteering our time.
Yeah.
So, what we do as a business and what I kind of thought of personally at one point in time, in 2021, correct?
Is that when we first went?
I think it was 21. So in
Was it?
2021, they had a big storm in Texas and everything froze. So none of the houses down there are designed to be in super cold weather. When they had, 10 degrees for a certain string of days, all the water piping in the houses, drains cracked, everything was just completely blown to shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad, very bad. There was thousands and thousands of homes that were just left with nothing. So I kind of got the idea, hey, why don't we just go down there and try to find an organization to volunteer our time? So we found an organization, and Kyle and I, along with a couple of our other employees, there's Kyle, yep, there's right there. So there's 4 of us. We went down to Texas for a week and volunteered our time and repiped a bunch of houses. So this family right here lived in, what was it, Texas City?
I think so.
I think it was Texas City. So they
Yeah.
lived in Texas City. Super nice people. Super.
she was
just
awesome.
They were so nice. We definitely hooked them up a little bit more than the organization told us.
Yeah, we're like, no, we're getting
They
them.
were like, do the repairs that you have to do to get them back on, and we may or may not have went in that house and redid everything.
Yeah, we're like, no.
Yeah, we hooked them up big time, but
She's not gonna have to worry about plumbing for a while.
yeah, she's not gonna have to worry about anything for a long time, dude. We literally replaced like her fixtures. We replaced her water heater.
Water heater was a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one because they're not giving those out,
No.
especially in a situation like that. They wanted to keep the cost
Yeah,
down as low as possible.
Yeah, she was great. She
Yeah.
started crying. It was a very emotional time.
Yep,
That was good stuff.
it was
Yeah,
good.
going under the houses.
Yeah, can we scroll back to that the other picture? Nope, backwards. Kyle covered in mud. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. So,
That
yeah,
was something.
well, that was. I don't. You
So-
guys did that so many times. I don't even know.
And now I know we don't even have to do that. They just down in Texas, they just cut the floor and they just do the stuff from up top.
What?
We were crawling under the house for
That's
no
a
reason.
thing.
Yeah,
Why
They
didn't
just-
anyone tell us that? How did you know that?
because they did it Or like I forget where I saw it, but I was
You're
like,
kidding me.
no, they all just. I mean, unless it's like a nice finished floor. If there's
Some
like,
of those houses were nice finished floors.
yeah, well, some of them you probably weren't doing that, but
No kidding. So that's what they do.
yeah,
They just they don't go under the house.
they just cut it and then they just patch it. Yeah, because I mean, there's probably some sketchy shit down there.
Oh, there's I know this sketchy shit down there. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
we
was
crawled around down there. It was gross,
yeah, it was
especially in
gross and
Galveston.
yeah, that was
Dude,
bad.
that was very bad.
some
Am
of
I
those.
allowed? I am allowed to tell this story. This is my show.
Yeah,
I can tell the
yeah, I don't
story.
think you can get in
We
trouble.
should tell the story.
I don't think you can get in trouble for that.
I can't. And these people are well, they may or may not see the podcast. They're not even going to know that we're referencing
chance
them.
they're gonna.
You don't think so? That would be crazy.
Some random people in Texas, though. I don't think so.
So we one of the last houses that Kyle and I went to was in Galveston. And we walked in. What did we go to the back door or the front door? Or?
Side door, I think. It
Side
was
door.
like side,
So
back. Yeah.
The way it worked is this organization would just give us addresses and say, go there, assess the situation, and let us know. Let us know what you find, and then just come back and get what you need, and we'll figure out the rest later. It was a pretty easy process. So we go to this last house in Galveston, and we knock on the door, and the guy comes out and starts talking to us, and he's like, oh, yeah, just get my spigot back on.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? What do you mean just get your spigot? You don't want like your bathroom to work? You don't want your kitchen faucet to work? Like, you just want the spigot? And he's like, yeah, just get the spigot. And we're like, sir, with all due respect, like, we're here and we're going to do this work for free.
Yeah, you got 4 licensed
You have
plumbers.
4 licensed plumbers from Massachusetts at your house right now. If we were going to bill that out, it'd be like $1,000 an hour.
Yeah, like, do you want this
or not?
He's
It's
like, nah.
free. We're going to spend like 8 hours at your house. Do you want it? And he's just like, no, just get the spigot reconnected. And we're like,
hey,
this is a little weird.
Yeah.
So after that, he finally let us into the kitchen, right? Was it the kitchen or the bathroom? We never went in the bathroom.
No, we weren't allowed in the bathroom.
We were not allowed in the bathroom. And that's when I figured out this was just wicked sketchy. I don't know if they were cooking meth in there. I don't know what was going on.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I couldn't tell. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. No, meth is a big thing, though.
Yeah, it is a big thing in Texas, but I don't know what.
Like, don't you need like a whole.
Yeah, see, I don't know if they probably weren't
laboratory.
cooking meth, but it was a weird situation because they just wouldn't let us into the house.
Yeah, like, we can fix your toilet right now. And he's like, no, don't go in there.
No, don't go in there. Don't fix anything. It was the most off-putting situation ever.
Yeah, it was really, it was.
But we went under that house, and it looked like someone had thrown like several years worth of trash under that house.
Yeah,
I think there might have just been a guy that was like walking by, just chucking stuff under this guy's house for years and years and years, because there was just like bottles and trash and wrappers and plastic bags. Remember?
Yeah, the glass.
There was glass everywhere. These guys are climbing around underneath the house, and there's just broken glass all over the place. You guys are lucky you didn't end up with like hepatitis or something bad.
I know.
I don't even know if the drains were connected in that house.
I think the kitchen sink was leaking.
Was it just dumping into the ground?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I feel like that's
we
pretty
fixed
much
that
every
as well.
house. Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we replaced the garbage as well.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Oh, the electricity.
Remember the paddle bit?
Oh my goodness. It went through.
So yeah, what happened? We were drilling a hole, and we drilled through the back of drilled through the floor of the cabinet.
Yeah.
To try to put a new pipe up through, and we drilled right through the wire for the garbage disposal, which you couldn't tell because it came out of the wall. So someone actually ran it up under the cabinet, 90'd it over, shot it up into the wall, and then brought it out to the disposal.
Yeah.
That was
working,
scary.
though.
That's the first and only time that I was convinced we were going to end up with an electrical fire.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that bit melted.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had a picture of it. It had like a nice point on it, and as soon as we hit that thing, it arced out, and half the bit was like gone.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too until now.
Then we got some lunch and gave it to him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, was that no?
Someone gave us lunch.
Someone gave us
lunch.
But we just
ate lunch.
Yeah, so it was. What was that woman's name that we worked for that had the special needs son that had like the two? She invited us to stay at her house after we were done. That was pretty cool. I was all about that. It was free vacation in Galveston, Texas, which if you've ever been to Galveston, it's not really
No,
It's not bad,
no.
but there's definitely some streets that I would not hang out on.
Yeah, that guy was from Galveston.
What guy?
The guy with the crazy house with the trash underneath.
Yeah, that was a Galveston house.
Yeah.
Just gives you perspective on like that was literally one street over. And it was
Yeah.
like you went from like, I would say moderately nice neighborhood,
Yep.
like near the beach. Like it almost gave me like Hampton vibes. And then you go
Yeah.
next street over and it's like you just walked into like the middle of like Mass Ave. Pretty much. One street over.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
It was something.
Yeah, it was a weird situation.
Kind of like Lynn, you know.
Yeah, I would say it was like a Lynn situation.
Nice side, and then all of a sudden it's like,
oh
shit.
It was very similar to Lynn.
Yeah.
You remember those fish tacos that we had?
Oh yeah, I do.
Those are the best fish tacos that I've had since.
Wow.
Like I've tried a bunch and just haven't found a single fish taco that I've liked.
Harrington's in Wakefield has really good fish tacos.
Isn't that an Irish place?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No kidding. I'll have to try that.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, that is good. So yeah. And then this is actually, if you go back one, us laying on the floor. So this is in that woman's house that we showed in the previous slide. I don't know. We spent so much time in that house. I feel like we were there for like a couple days. We should have just slept at that house.
I think we needed a part. So we were just
we did. We were just waiting and waiting.
Yeah,
and
it was
waiting
like,
for that
all right,
part to show up. And I definitely was just kind of doing one of these and lounging.
Yeah, we had a tough day there.
Yeah, that was. Well, we did so much.
Remember you used the car grease?
I forgot about that. What, they couldn't find silicone grease.
Or just like plumber's grease.
They couldn't find plumber's grease, so I had to get like a tube that you would put into a grease gun and just like we bought a whole tube of grease, like $15 to take out literally a Q-tip sized daub to put around the shower valve cartridge to put it back together.
You needed it though.
Yeah, you definitely did.
That was fun.
That was a good trip. I can't imagine how many Modelo's.
Oh man.
On that trip.
We got like 224s.
Can we scroll back a couple pictures to us? So, see, I don't have a picture of me, but at the time I was a little bit heavier, and I want to say I probably drank like a 24 by myself every day. That was after we were done with the work.
We drank a lot.
We crushed a insurmountable amount of Modelo's, that was fun. That was a lot of fun hanging out by the fire with Kate. Kate's a boss. Shout out to Kate. If you ever see this, Kate, you'll know what we were talking about. Last picture. So we saw some really weird things while we were in Texas over the course of the entire week. I would say that this house, this is the woman that bought us lunch. This is probably one of the strangest things that I think I've ever seen on the outside of a house. Yeah, so up kind of by Mike's head, there's a bunch of PVC up there on the outside of the house. Now, if anybody knows anything about construction, what we were taught is that all the plumbing goes inside the home, like in the walls.
Yeah,
and we roll up to this woman's house with an extension ladder, and there's water lines on the outside of her house just clipped to the side, right up the siding. There's PVC clipped to the side of the house. All the drains just ran outside and ran out and ran down in the ground. It was the most bizarre thing we've ever seen. I've never seen hack work like that ever in my life.
It could have just been normal. I don't even know if that is hack.
She said she paid somebody to do that, and I remember looking at it and going, "There's no way."
It wasn't good work.
It was terrible work.
Wasn't good.
If I was gonna give that away to like hack of the week, that guy gets like hack of the year.
That was something. No, that's what all the water pipes broke.
Yeah, they're all on the outside of the house. No wonder why they all froze and cracked.
And then we had to like figure out, and then there's pipes on the inside.
That house was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
I wonder how she's doing right now.
Do we have her number?
No, we lost it. We're supposed to get it from Kate.
No, I thought she gave it to you. Oh, you have her address still.
I don't remember it. No.
I think you put it in your phone in a note.
I'll look. I don't know.
Take a look. We'll have to mail her a letter or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have her address somewhere.
Oh, I do.
You do. We'll have to get in touch with her. Super nice lady.
Yeah.
She just wanted to like cook us dinner and have us live at her house for like the rest of the time.
Yeah, she literally told us to live on like with her.
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I own the 3-family next door. You guys can just come in and live here whenever. Yeah, you just have this house if you'd like. I can't take care of it." Yeah. That house was nice too because it was all freshly redone.
Yeah, it was,
big like sprawling 3-family. It wasn't like the 3 families around here where every bedroom's a closet, like tiny. That house was like big, like the main bedroom in that house, even though it was a 3-decker, was just like way elaborate. It had like built-in bookshelves and stuff. I was a little blindsided when we went in that house. I did not realize how nice it would be.
It's probably a nice, nice area back time.
Oh,
back in the
definitely.
day,
Yeah, like at the same time that Lynn
Lynn.
was nice.
Yeah. The big bedrooms. I feel like Lynn has big old
They
houses.
do, yeah, they do. I feel like
Just converted some of them to, multifamilies and whatnot.
Dude, they took some of those homes and converted them back to single families.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day in Medford, and I literally like shit a brick
I saw a guy do the brownstones.
Well, that's
It's
yeah, but
different.
that's like an exception to the rule. If you're buying a brownstone in Boston,
Yeah.
you automatically have way too much money. And you're
Yeah.
probably bored.
That's different money.
Yeah, that's different money. But to see one in like Medford where it was like a tech guy just walked in and was like, yeah, this is a 3-family. I'm just going to convert it into a single family. That was insane to see because he opened everything up. It was a wild sight. Wild.
I like Medford.
I do too. Nicer
Medford.
area than Lynn for sure. What's the 10 of the week? What do you got?
So I've been doing
Do you
the
have it with you?
velos. No. Dude, I washed my Lucy's in the washing machine.
Can somebody toss my tin over here so we have like the last 2 minutes? It's on the table. My guy, what's the flavor? Oh, like a hockey puck, bro. Wow, you like hit the tip of my finger, like knocked.
That's all right. We didn't need that mic or anything. It's
Yeah,
no big deal.
you hit the really expensive mic, hit the tip of my finger, knocked over the water bottle, and knocked my headphone out all at the same time. Yeah, dude, you just broke the entire studio with one.
Everything like lights start flickering and shit. How good would that be?
My God.
Note to self.
Yeah, we're not throwing these around the studio anymore because they've proven to be more dangerous than helpful. I feel
Imagine
like.
you get hurt.
So we have the Zen Smooth of the week, I guess, is the Zen of the week. Thank you, Max, for that. Appreciate it. We're not supposed to throw those. I just broke my own rule. Just broke the cardinal rule.
We're gonna get fired.
Already fired. And then, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna.
So any hacky stuff?
No, just the biggest hack thing. Can we go back to that slide one more time so I can just talk about this a little bit more? So not only are all the plumbing things ran on the outside of the house, all the drain pipes and water pipes, they also ran an exhaust for a water heater on the outside of the house, which if they have it clipped directly to the side of the house, I believe is a fire hazard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean,
Clipped to the side of the house, like directly on the side.
the exhaust.
Yeah, the exhaust. Look on the right side behind Mike's back.
Oh,
Yeah. You didn't notice that before,
No.
did you?
no, I didn't.
Yeah, water heater exhaust right on the side. Imagine.
No, that's no
Yeah,
good.
it's a fire hazard big time. That
That's-
wasn't her house, though, I don't think. I think the house on the...
No, I think that was her house.
that was also
That
her
was
house?
her other house.
Oh, we probably should have fixed that before we left.
We were just
Wow.
trying to get the water back on.
Yeah, that's true.
She had like a week with no water.
Didn't
and
we?
a special
I
needs
feel like
son.
we fixed a gas leak there, too.
Yeah, we did a ton.
We did do a lot of work there. And honestly, that house, it was such a big house with so many bathrooms and so
know.
much piping. We probably could have spent like a couple weeks there.
I can't believe I can't remember her name. Or something like that. Like,
Yeah, that sounds right. I think her last name was definitely...
I bet it is.
It is now.
It is.
I would love to tell the other story, but we're not gonna stoop to that level.
Which one?
You standing in the kitchen and saying something you shouldn't have said.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not ever gonna say that.
No, we can't. We can't.
Tell the story, but it's not funny. We'll cut it.
Okay, good.
All right.
So
It's not gonna be good.
it's bad. It's very bad. So we were standing in the kitchen,
It's not nice.
and it's not. It's very much not nice, and I'm probably gonna get canceled for this. And then Kyle's gonna get canceled immediately after that.
No, I should. Yeah.
Probably.
I
So
learned my lesson.
we're standing in the kitchen with this woman and her son, who's special needs. Yeah. So we're standing in the kitchen with this woman and her son who's special needs.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, off to a great start here, Max. And we sit down, and Kyle is under the sink, and I'm standing there next to the sink, handing him shit so he can get this faucet in as quickly as possible, because this was the last thing that we had to do before we could get out of the house. We were going to Saltgrass that night to have steaks, right?
Yep.
Was it that night? Yeah, that night we were going to get
It's a big
steaks. So
night.
we were like, all right, let's bang this faucet in, get out of here. Licensed plumber can do a faucet really fast if they're trying. I think we probably put that in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, you can do it quick.
So I hand I'm handing tools to Kyle, and Kyle's like, all right, yeah, you're all set. Turn the water on. So I flip it over. I turn it to the cold side, and I'm like, all right, yeah. Oh, wait. Nope. Kyle, you switched the lines. The hot side, you flipped the hot side and the cold side. There's hot water coming out of the cold. Kyle gets out from under the sink, looks me dead in the eye. This woman and her son with special needs are standing from me to the end of that bookcase. And Kyle just looks at me dead in the eye and goes, I'm retarded. Can you do that for me? Can you say it?
It's like, I'm retarded.
Yeah. What is that from? The Simpsons?
Yeah, it's like, I'm in danger.
Yeah, that kid. So
Ralph Wiggum.
Kyle says that to me. Now,
But like, I didn't think,
he
you
didn't
know.
think about it, but he's looking me dead in the eye, and the
And then-
other two guys we're with are in the kitchen
They're
with
like,
us. The whole entire, it's everybody involved, all parties involved in this plumbing adventure that we're on, are standing there. And Kyle looks at me, and I look at him, and we both go, shit. Yeah. And then Rob and Mike look at us, and they just start shaking their heads.
Yeah, no, that was bad.
I don't think they ever heard us, but that was like,
That was not good.
no, that was
I
not
don't
good.
say that word
we
anymore.
learned to not say that anymore, because it's just that was actually an offensive moment, and I do not approve. I did not approve then. I still don't approve now. That was bad.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, my mom says it all the time, and my dad, it's just like something I grew up saying.
Right.
I
It's
don't
like
mean
when
it-
you swear, you don't
Yeah.
think anything of it, but then when you're
You
around
don't mean
people
it in
that
like an
don't,
offensive
you
way.
don't. Yeah, no.
It's
You
just-
definitely you weren't using it as like a derogatory
No,
term to
no,
try
no,
to
no.
attack somebody or bully somebody. You were just
No.
like,
Yeah, I'm stupid.
whoops.
Yeah, I'm
Just wrong place, wrong time.
yeah, this is
That was a very we should create a segment at some point that's called Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I think that'd be good.
yeah, well, yeah.
That's always going to make for an interesting story.
You just have to get the story.
Well, there's always a story. You just got to dig through your memory bank and find it. So next week we're going to have Kiara on, and we're going to explore that whole women in the trades thing, and we're going to talk about who knows what.
Yep.
And we're going to have the Zen of the week and not throw it next time. We're probably just going to gently place it on the table and not break the really expensive mic. And then, I'm just excited for this adventure. I really do love the nice logo that these guys put together. I can't wait to have those as gates on my house.
That thing is sick.
I think that would make an excellent front gate and or inlay on a fireplace, or both. Might even get a gold chain that has
Oh, the big one.
like a really big, like a Flavor Flav size clock type, like a clock with two griffins on it. I
Yeah.
think that'd be super cool. I would never.
Oh,
wear it.
is that what that is?
Yeah, those are griffins.
Oh,
Yeah, mythical creature. It's a lion and a eagle, lion and an eagle mix. So it's a lion's body, like
Wow.
back half of a lion's body and then front half of an eagle. They can fly, and probably do magic. I'm not sure. I can't do either of those things.
like Napoleon Dynamite's a liger.
Yeah, same idea. But ligers are real. Those, I don't think they've been successful in making those yet.
Griffin.
Yeah,
It's probably on
I
the.
use the term yet because they're bringing back mammoths.
It's on the list, I bet.
It's on the list. It's got to be. If woolly mammoths are being brought back now and being introduced to
Who's paying those scientists?
The mammoths.
the mammoths are paying for it, you think so? It's not. It's not just a.
The man.
No, it's not the man. It's a bunch of philanthropists, people with way too much money. They're like, hey, you know what I want to do today? Imagine waking up in your $300 million estate, and you're like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm gonna take just an absurd amount of money,
I'm gonna make a mammoth.
and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna donate it to some scientists so they can bring back a mammoth.
Mammoth move right there.
Yeah, that was a mammoth move for sure. Absolutely. So yeah, I think at some point it's on the list. Someone's gonna make one. They can do weird stuff with genetics now.
I'd be afraid when that thing comes.
Did you know that I know we don't have a lot of time here, but did you know they can actually change genetics of a baby in the womb now?
To do what?
Anything.
To be
If
like,
you said, I want to make sure that my kid comes out with like green eyes and black hair,
wow.
you can pay them money and they will alter the genes and they will make sure that it's done correctly because it costs a fortune.
Wow.
You didn't know about that.
No, how do you
Yeah,
know?
We'll get somebody on that specializes in that maybe at some point. That'd be
Okay.
pretty cool. I'd love to do that. I want to pick their brain and just ask them who thought of this. Like
We're doing big things here.
Yeah, we're gonna do very big things here.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. We're gonna get athletes on here. We're gonna get Dave Portnoy on here at some point. Boston guy. Shout out to Dave. If you ever see this, you probably won't. And then I want to try to get some personalities on here because I feel like it's gonna be a great thing.
Yeah. This is fun.
So this is the start, episode 1. Join us next week on Monday, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.